Hey dude, what's up?
Hey man, how's it going? Welcome
Good.
to the tip of the week. Excited to jump into this one. And today, I want to ask you a quick question. Uh, Heard this Rand Fishkin presentation that you heard on
Yeah.
Google and their new search strategy. Want to hear more about that? Give us the lowdown.
Yeah. So this was a presentation that I heard him do recently, and it really caught my attention because basically I had never heard anything about what he was talking about, which is always like, interesting when people have a new slice on things. And here was his summary. Google, if you look at the results of a Google search and ask the question, how many of those results end up in a zero click, like no click happens. You just Google it and then you get your info and you're done without being referred to another website. How many times does that happen? Well, so he has the charts, and I'll share a chart and I'll link to his slide share. But basically, it's skyrocketing, 30% growth in that outcome in the last 2 years. I mean, Google is retaining more and more of the search traffic for itself. And when he was talking about that, he was talking about SEO and content marketing and what it means, for us, because that would be a frightening thing if Google stopped referring traffic. But I immediately started thinking about e-commerce and what it means for e-commerce. So, I mean, I think this is something for us to talk about. Is Google deploying the same strategy in its search system that it definitely has done in YouTube over the last 10 years, which is it just doesn't refer traffic. You just don't get traffic off of YouTube like you used to at all. And so I think it's something for all of us to think about as, e-commerce sellers and as people who are trying to get traffic from organic search, blogging, SEO strategies, all of the things that we've done over the years to try to get traffic to our websites or to our listings. So that's the story. I mean, and it's something to definitely keep an eye on. And again, I'll share the deck so everybody can see it. What are your thoughts on it? You see anything like that happening in your area?
For sure. I think you totally see it on a lot of different, you just see it in your own searches. I think Google's sort of AMP, which is their mobile tool to provide faster mobile experiences, is basically them hosting that content on Google servers.
Yeah.
So that's one area in which that's happened. And then in the last, I think it was last month, in May, where Google announced that they have new and improved shopping actions will allow even tighter integration for direct purchasing and using their conversion likelihood algorithm, which they use for their ad platform, and converting e-commerce sales inside of their shopping actions platform as well.
So people will transact straight through Google without hitting somebody's Shopify site or going to Amazon or eBay?
Yeah, you'd be able to see it to where you pull up and you see like the link to like the shopping ads now.
Yeah.
And now it'll actually be a direct link where you can add to cart and check out right in the Google experience.
Wow.
And then it gets pushed to your store as an order and you get paid because you have it hooked up with like Google Pay or whatever.
Wow. If that happens more and more, it kind of fits with what Rand Fishkin's saying, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, and then you reminded me about this whole thing about how Amazon scaled up too, which was fascinating, which is their strategy was basically they advertised like crazy on Google.
For sure. For like a 10 to 15 year period, the biggest spender for Google ads was Amazon.
Yeah.
They literally just said, we're going to take that money and we're just going to buy traffic and buy brand awareness and and they did it. And they did it for like 10 years straight, a whole decade.
So people who had shopping intent, they used Google. They're like, hey, I need a new pair of tennis shoes. And Amazon was just like, here's our text ad, here's our display ad every day, all day long for 10, 12 years.
And the other thing that's interesting about that is that Amazon was leveraging an inexpensive channel at the time. Google ads at one point were really inexpensive. People were like, oh, Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever. But Google was that at one point, and Amazon leveraged that to scale like mad.
And Gary Vee's broken that down a lot in his keynotes.
Sure.
I mean, he's talked about how Amazon arbitraged its way into
100%.
growth using Google for a long time. Now, if I'm sitting at Google, I'm thinking to myself, hey man, we let Amazon become Amazon through our system.
Yeah.
Why not keep some of that awesome like e-commerce action to ourselves?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if that's some plot in somebody's business plan somewhere in Google. Whether they can do it or not, I don't know, but it's fascinating to think about. So
yeah, I think there's also a bit of a reverse from the Amazon angle as well, because early on, a few years ago, when Amazon was rolling out its own ad platform and marketing services, stuff like that, there was some hesitation from retailers to jump on that. And they're like, why would I want to advertise on Amazon? And now it's like,
but then they realized after a year or two, they were like, oh my gosh, this totally helps me blow up sales.
For sure. And
now
they realize
they're all
it.
in.
And now it's like becoming more and more expensive, and it's becoming just more expensive. Yeah. So I think this is a way for you to sort of leverage that out of Google again, because it's it's a different platform and different cost structure than search ads, because you're going through the Google shopping.
So what's the takeaway for us e-commerce sellers if we got a Shopify business running, or even if we're on Amazon? What do you think the lesson in this drama is for us? I mean, is it basically get your butt onto Google retail ads, get your integration set up? Or
I think it's time to start testing it. Yeah, for sure. I think you have to be in it. I think there's still good opportunity, and I think the opportunity will continue to be there because Google wants to be competitive with Amazon. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's going to open up more real estate on their search results for shopping experiences and for e-commerce to happen.
Right.
And if they really want to, they can basically price themselves into being competitive with Amazon for e-commerce because they already have the traffic. Yeah. So I think it's something to definitely watch and be testing currently in your stores.
Well, there's always something new, man. So this is interesting. Right when I heard his presentation, I was like, oh, there's a lot to unpack in this topic. So it's props to Rand Fishkin for breaking that down for everybody. And I'll share the link to the slide deck, but final thoughts on it?
My final thought is what is old is new. It's like you're going, Google ads, they're old. No, they don't. Well, now they're reinventing and they're offering more opportunity for you to be plugging into and taking advantage of.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, buddy. Good times, good times. Let's wrap it up for the day, but have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yep. Bye.